Let's be real for a second. Guys don't always say what they're feeling, especially in the bedroom. But here's the truth. There are certain things he wants to hear during sex that he'll probably never ask for. And no, it's not just about dirty talk or ego boosts. It's about words that make him feel desired, confident, and connected to you on a whole different level. If you've ever wondered what's actually going on in his head in those moments and how just a few simple words can change the entire vibe, this is the one thing you need to hear right now. Most people underestimate how deeply men want to feel like the man in a woman's eyes, especially during sex. It's not just about dominance or physical strength, it's about what that dominance represents emotionally. When a man hears certain words during intimacy, they go far beyond arousal. They become evidence. Evidence that he's enough, that he's doing it right, that you trust him, desire him, and feel safe in his presence. These aren't shallow needs, they're old, hardwired needs that trace back to the way men define their identity through how they're perceived by the people they care about. So when you say something like, "You feel so good," or "I love the way you take control," you're feeding a part of him that rarely gets attention in everyday life. He might look confident, composed, even cocky at times, but in bed, he's actually more vulnerable than you think. He's listening, watching your reaction, wanting to know, am I doing it right? Am I enough for her? Does she feel wanted? Does she feel me? And the moment you give him that affirmation with your words, with your tone, with your surrender to the moment, something shifts. He opens, he becomes more of what you want, because now he knows you see that in him. And it's not about flattery or faking, it's about truthfully acknowledging the masculine energy he's bringing to the experience. The way he holds you, the way he moves with confidence, the way he reads your body and responds. When you voice how much that excites you, he doesn't just feel sexually successful, he feels like a man who's capable of bringing his woman deep pleasure and safety. And that feeling is addictive to him. It's not something he gets from porn or from casual encounters. It's something he gets only from a woman who knows how to make him feel powerful without losing her own power. That balance, where you're both vulnerable but still deeply in your own energy, that's where the spark becomes fire. Because when you say something like, "I love when you take control," or "I feel so good when I'm under you," you're doing more than describing the physical. You're saying, "I see you, I feel you, you move me." That's the ultimate validation for a man, not because he needs his ego stroked, but because he wants to feel like he matters to you. In this moment, in this space, in your body, that he's the reason you're melting, that his presence, his choices, his rhythm, they're what's unlocking that wild, open, feminine energy in you. And even if he never says it, even if he acts like he's in total control, deep down, he's searching for those moments where your words pull him closer, not just physically, but emotionally. Because the truth is, when you affirm his masculinity with your voice, you create a space where he can lean into that role even more. You feed the protector, the lover, the leader inside of him. And most importantly, you let him feel seen in a world that so often demands him to be strong without asking how he feels in the process. There's something powerful that happens when a man feels like he's pleasing you, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, completely. And during sex, that need for reassurance runs deeper than most women realize. Even the most confident man wants to know he's getting it right, that you're lost in the moment because of what he is doing. And he might not ask for it directly, but he's watching your face, your body, your breath, your reactions, trying to find confirmation. It's a kind of silent conversation he's having with you. So when you speak up, when you moan his name, when you say, "That feels amazing," or Don't stop just like that. You're giving him exactly what he craves. You're guiding him without correcting him. You're encouraging him without taking him out of the moment. And the truth is, when you stay quiet or seem distracted, it doesn't always come off as mysterious or sexy. Sometimes it just makes him feel unsure. It leaves room for doubt. But when you offer those little bits of verbal reassurance, it lights him up. It gives him confidence to go deeper, to be more present, to explore you more boldly. It says, yes, I'm with you. Yes, this is working. Yes, I want more. That kind of feedback isn't just a bonus, it's essential. It shapes the entire experience, because a man who knows he's pleasing you becomes more giving, more generous, more turned on by your pleasure than even his own. He starts to pay attention differently. He listens with his hands. He slows down where he used to rush. He leans in when he used to hold back. And that change happens because you've made him feel like a hero in that moment. Not in an arrogant way, in a purposeful way. You've made him feel useful, powerful, appreciated. That's a different kind of turn on. It's emotional, it's validating, and it makes him want to keep coming back to you, because you're one of the few who lets him feel that. A lot of men walk around in life performing, for work, for family, for society, always trying to prove they're good enough. But in sex, with the right woman, they don't want to perform. They want to connect. They want to impress you, yes, but they also want to affect you. They want to feel like what they're doing is unlocking something real in you, that they have the power to make you feel safe, wild, open, expressive. And that power only comes when you show him he's pleasing you. You don't have to be loud, dramatic, or fake. That's not the point. What matters is honesty. A whispered "God, that feels so good" can carry more weight than 1,000 rehearsed lines. The way your voice drops, the way your tone trembles slightly, it tells him the truth, and that's all he wants. Because in that truth, he feels trusted, he feels capable. And that sense of capability fuels the masculine side of him that wants to protect, to provide, to please. It's not about stroking his ego. It's about letting him feel like he has a place in your experience. Like he's not just a part of it, but the reason for it. That reassurance is a silent gift that speaks louder than anything else. Every man has a deep, often unspoken desire to be seen for the specific things he does right. He doesn't want to guess if he's doing well. He wants to know. He wants to hear it from you in real time, not just through body language, but through your voice, your words, your enthusiasm. It's not enough to tell a man that was good after the fact, or to moan just because you think it's expected. What really makes a difference, what hits him in the chest in the middle of intimacy, is when you say something specific. When you lock eyes with him and say, "The way you touch my neck drives me crazy." Or when you whisper, "I love how you take your time right here," you're showing him that you're not just reacting, you're feeling, you're noticing, you're engaged. And that specificity lights him up. It gives him direction, but it also gives him meaning, because now he knows it's not just sex, it's a connection that's shaped by the way you respond to him. Men don't want to feel like they're interchangeable, like anyone could make you feel this way. They want to know that they, in their unique way of loving you, are the reason you're breathless. When you give him specific praise, you're giving him the blueprint to satisfy you. Not just physically, but emotionally. You're saying, "This is what works. This is what makes me lose control. Keep doing this." And what that does is incredible. It shifts him from being in his head to being in the moment. He's no longer thinking, "Am I doing this right?" or "Should I change it up?" He's thinking, "She wants this. I'm giving her what she craves." That kind of confidence is magnetic. It makes him bolder, more attentive, more giving, because now he has a target. And it's not just your body, it's your mind, your heart, your trust. Encouragement like that builds intimacy in ways most people overlook. It says, I trust you enough to guide you. I want you enough to tell you what drives me wild. And that honesty is sexy. It removes pressure and replaces it with playfulness. Now, it's not just about performance, it's about discovery. It becomes a shared experience, not a one-sided guessing game. And the more you give him that positive reinforcement, the more he wants to keep learning you, keep exploring you, keep earning those reactions again and again. Because in a world where most people only speak up to criticize or correct, you become the one who uplifts, the one who makes him feel like a king, because you notice something no one else took the time to name. And it's not about being theatrical or saying things you don't mean. It's about tuning in and expressing the truth of what you feel in that moment. Even a soft yes, right there, said with sincerity, gives him the fuel to keep giving. It's a signal, a green light, a reward. And those words, when they come from a place of real emotion, real enjoyment, stay with him long after the moment ends. He remembers how he made you feel and how you told him so. And that memory, that feedback, becomes something he'll want to recreate again and again, not just for the pleasure, but for the feeling of being the man who truly knows how to love you. There's a moment in sex when everything slows down, not because the physical rhythm changes, but because something deeper clicks into place. It's that shift from just sensation to true connection. And what most women don't realize is that a man longs for that moment more than he'll ever admit. He wants to feel like more than a body, more than a source of pleasure. He wants to feel like what's happening between you isn't just sex. It's intimacy, emotional presence, real time, bonding. And he doesn't just pick that up from how tightly you hold him or how much you moan. He hears it in what you say. When you tell him something like, I feel so close to you right now, or this feels so much more than physical, you're giving voice to the part of him that craves connection over performance. You're letting him know that he's not just satisfying your body, but touching your heart. And that's where most women underestimate men. They assume he just wants to hear how good he is in bed, how sexy he looks, how hard he is. But what really makes him open up, what really sinks in and stays with him, is when you let him know that this isn't casual, even if it's not about love yet, that this moment has weight, that it means something to you. Because when you speak from that place of vulnerability, it gives him permission to drop his guard, to stop trying to be perfect and just be present. Suddenly, it's not about trying to impress you, it's about being with you, emotionally, mentally, physically, all at once. And when a man feels that level of closeness, he doesn't forget it. It makes the sex better, but it also makes the connection deeper. It creates a kind of emotional safety that allows both of you to explore each other more fully. He doesn't feel like he has to hide behind jokes or dominance or silence. He can actually exhale, because now he's not just giving pleasure, he's receiving something real in return, your trust. Your words become a bridge that pulls him closer, not just skin to skin, but heart to heart. And he might never say it out loud, but he'll feel it, he'll carry it, he'll think about it, because most men, even the ones who act detached or cool, are starving for that kind of emotional intimacy. They don't always get it, and they rarely expect it. So when a woman gives it to him, honestly, vulnerably, mid-moment, it hits him in a place he didn't know was even exposed. And from that point on, everything changes. You're not just another experience. You're a memory. You're an anchor. You're someone who saw past his body and into his spirit. And sex after that becomes more than friction. It becomes a moment he wants to relive, not just for the pleasure, but for the closeness, because he felt chosen, not just touched, not just wanted, chosen. And all that emotional richness starts with just a few words that come from truth, words that say, this isn't just about what we're doing, it's about what I feel with you while we're doing it. That's what he secretly hopes to hear, that it's not just lust. It's a connection he can feel long after the lights go out. There's a quiet but powerful need inside almost every man to feel like he's not just desired for what he's doing, but for who he is. During sex, he doesn't just want to be told he's good at it, he wants to feel like you want him. Not just the moment, not just the outcome, but him, his energy, his body, his presence, his scent, his strength, the way he makes you feel when he walks into the room. That kind of desire is rare, and when a woman expresses it honestly and openly during sex, it does something to a man that can't be replicated by technique or performance. When you whisper, I've been thinking about this all day, or I can't get enough of you, or even something raw like, I need you so bad. You're tapping into a place inside him that craves to be wanted in a way that feels personal and specific. It tells him that you're not just there for the act. You're there because he turns you on in a way no one else does. That's an intoxicating feeling for a man, because most men don't get to experience being desired in that way. They're expected to initiate, to lead, to impress, but rarely do they get to feel like they are the fantasy, that they are the one being craved. And when you say those things in the heat of the moment, when your voice shakes a little or your breath catches because you can't hold back anymore, he doesn't just feel wanted. He feels powerful, chosen, masculine in the deepest, most affirming way. It makes him feel like he doesn't have to perform to win you over. He already has you. That desire becomes fuel. It changes how he touches you. It unlocks a more intense, more vulnerable version of him because he's no longer guessing how you feel. He knows. And not just because of how your body reacts, but because you told him, you showed him, you let him see that he's not just someone doing something to you, you're with him because of who he is. That kind of raw, honest craving creates a ripple effect in a man. It makes him want to protect you, cherish you, give more to you, not just sexually, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Because now the connection is deeper than chemistry. It's personal. And when you express that kind of desire during sex, when you tell him you want him, not in a casual or rehearsed way, but in a way that's unfiltered and real, it hits him where he lives. It tells him he's not just the initiator or the one giving pleasure. He's also the one being pursued. That he's sexy to you, that he's irreplaceable in that moment, that if you could choose anyone in the world, you'd still choose him. And that feeling stays with a man long after the night ends, long after the clothes are back on, long after life goes back to normal. He'll remember the way your voice cracked when you said his name, the way your hands pulled him closer, the way your eyes said, I can't get enough of you. And that's what he secretly wants, to feel wanted with that kind of intensity, to know that for all the things he tries to be in the world, strong, capable, dependable, he is also deeply, wildly, genuinely desirable. That's the kind of desire that doesn't just turn a man on, it bonds him to you. So when it comes down to it, the words you say during sex carry more power than you realize. It's not about being vulgar or putting on a show. It's about speaking to the parts of him that rarely get touched. The part that wants to feel strong and desired. The part that craves reassurance that he's doing it right. The part that lights up when you notice the little things. The part that's starving for connection, even when he doesn't say so. And most of all, the part that wants to know you're not just enjoying sex, you're enjoying him. His body, his energy, his presence. Those words you offer in the heat of the moment stay with him long after the night is over. They become a kind of emotional glue that binds you in ways physical touch never could. Because when you speak with intention, with truth and with presence, you create a space where he doesn't just feel aroused, he feels seen. And that is what makes the difference between ordinary sex and unforgettable intimacy. The things he secretly wants you to say, they're not about fantasy, they're about feeling chosen. And the woman who knows how to give that, not with performance, but with genuine emotion, is the woman he will keep coming back to, body, heart, and soul.